Hi everyone. Today we are going to start a new chapter of civics, that is secularism, fundamental rights and fundamental duties. We have already read about fundamental rights and fundamental duties in the last chapter, but in this chapter we will be reading it in more detail. So let's begin with an introduction. A constitution of a democratic country is one wherein the state is secular and the government is elected by the people. India also adopted a strategy of separating the power of religion and the power of state like other democratic country. It means that in India we enjoy certain rights, certain powers. We have a choice to choose a government of our own choice. And that is why India is known as democratic country. But there are certain countries in the world which do not enjoy these rights. This separation of religion from the state refer to secularism. A secular state allow individual the freedom to live by their religious beliefs and practices. This means that in India, we have a right to choose any religion and we can stay with the beliefs and practices of a particular religion. And that is why India is known as a secular state. In keeping with these ideals, the Constitution of India provides some fundamental rights which are equally guaranteed to all citizens. So, being a democratic country, being a secular state, the Indian government's given us some rights, and those rights are called as fundamental rights. So, let's begin with fundamental right. But before going to the fundamental right, just look at this picture. In this picture, you can see two images. The one is the original one, that is the Constitution of India. It was framed when our country got independence, but as the country developed, as it progressed, there were some amendments needed to be made in this constitution. And the next image or the later image is the image of the new Constitution of India. So the fundamental rights have been described in article from 12 to 35 part 3rd of the Indian Constitution. You know about all the 6 rights, but you might not know that in which articles these rights belong in. So here is a list of all the rights along with their articles. The first right is the right to equality. It comes under article 14, 15 and 16. Right to freedom, article 19, 20 and 21. Right against exploitation, article 23 and 24. Right to freedom of religion, article 25, 26, 27 and 28. Cultural and educational right, article 29 and 30. Right to constitutional remedies in article 32 to 35. In a democratic country, all the people need these rights so as to become responsible citizens. So, with this, let's start with the first fundamental right, that is right to equality. In the picture itself, you can see that all the men and the women are equal in front of the law. So, the Constitution guarantees that all citizens will be equally protected by the law of the country. No discrimination on the basis of race, color, sex, caste, religion, or place of birth. No discrimination in employment. All citizens can apply for government jobs. Abolish the titles like Rai Bahadur, Khan Bahadur, which was created by the British government. Accept the military titles like General, Colonel, Major, and the academic titles like Doctor, Engineer, PhD holders. Special provision for SC, ST and OBC. Here the full form of SC, ST and OBC is Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribes and other backward classes. Women and children have been the victim of this discrimination, and it is the responsibility of the state to bring them at par and make them equal. We know that in earlier days the women were not given equal right as the men were given. And same with the female child, she was not allowed to go to school because the people think that she will take care of her siblings and the household things. And the time has changed. We should not discriminate and we should treat them equally. The next right is the right to freedom. Under this, we have right to freedom of speech and expression. Freedom of speech and expression means we can give we can express our feelings related to any of the matters. Right to assemble peacefully and without arms. Right to form associations and unions. Right to move freely throughout the country. Right to reside and settle in any part of the country means if you are not a citizen of a particular state, but still if you are a citizen of India, you can settle in any of the state of India. Right to participate any profession and occupation, trade or business. No one can deprive of his life and property except when he has committed a crime or violated a law. No person can be arrested without being told the reason for his arrest. Arrested person to be brought before magistrate, that is the judge, in 24 hours. Person has right to engage a lawyer of his choice. If not, then state provides a lawyer for him. The next right is right against exploitation. In the image you can see how these children are carrying the bulk of bricks. With this you can understand that there are many factories, many restaurants which employs a children below the age of 14 years and they exploit them. So here are the ways how these rights has been exploiting. So the practice of beggar or forced labor, begging is now a crime and punishment by law. Employing children below the age of 14 years in factories, mines or other job when they should study and go to school. Buying and selling of human beings, which is known as trafficking, is deemed illegal. So here comes a new word, that is human trafficking. The meaning of human trafficking is buying and selling of the children for their own profit, which is extremely illegal in India. The next is right to freedom of religion. India is a secular state, which means India does not have any state religion. No state-run institution can give religious instructions. All religions are equal and state does not give preference to any religion. People can practice any religion of their choice and profess it. The only restriction in this right is that no religion can undertake activities which incite the feeling of the people of other religion, means which hurt the feeling of the people of other religion or disturb peace and tranquility of the country. The next is the cultural and educational right. In the picture you can see it displays the different cultures of India. So it says that any community which has a language or a script can preserve it and develop it. Here the meaning of language or script means, see, we Hindus have Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Christians have Bible, Muslims have Quran, and this is how the other religions have different spirituals book. So we can preserve it and we can develop it. No one can object to anyone. All minorities can set up their religious and educational institution, means minority, any backward class, any SC, any scheduled tribes, OBC, any backward class, they can set up any religion and they can also start a educational institution. No citizen can be discriminated against for admission in institution run by the state. This means that if a person belonging to any category, he is staying in a place and he wants to take an admission in a college which is run by the state, so we cannot discriminate that child to take the admission in a particular state which is run by the state, any college which is run by the state. Now with this comes the last right, that is right to constitutional remedies. This is the most important right. It empowers the citizen to go to court if their fundamental rights are violated. The court can issue various kinds of writs. Writ means written order, in order to protect the right of the people. So the name of the different written order is habeas corpus, mandamus, certiorari, quo warranto, and prohibition. This right can be suspended when an emergency is declared. After the emergency is lifted, this right again comes into force. That means that when there is a situation of emergency, means a situation of war-like condition, then this right gets lifted. And when the emergency is over, when the war is over, this right again come into force. With this, I hope all the rights are clear to everyone, and I also wish you will follow all the rights that are mentioned in the Constitution. So with this, I will end my video. Thank you.